Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are so thankful that you're here with us today. We have some great content to cover in the area of how we honor and manage your child's IEP here at JB. My name is Samantha Evers. I am the principal here at JB Westlake. I was an intervention specialist in the public school district for many years before coming to JB in the summer of 2020. And I was charged with the task of helping launch the third campus in the JB network. We opened to grades K through 4 this past fall, and next year we will open to grades 5 through 8.
My name is Katie Schaefer. I am the Assistant Principal and Director of Special Education at JB Westlake. I am also a BCBA, which is a board certified behavior analyst. I've worked at JB for the past 8 years. I started in Lyndhurst as an intervention specialist and became a BCBA in 2018. And now I am here in Westlake to help launch this campus.
So today we are going to cover how IEPs are incorporated here at JB, our model and the benefits of attending one of our campuses in the network, and our role in the special education process. We will have time at the end for any questions, and there is an option on your screen to submit questions using the Q&A box. So feel free to type in questions as you think of them, and at the end, Katie and I will respond to as many as we can get through. So we're going to hop right in with how IEP goals are incorporated into the day-to-day here at Julie Billiart Schools. It's very different from a public setting in how the IEP is incorporated into the school year and school day. At JB, all of our classroom teachers are certified intervention specialists, and there are 2 intervention specialists per classroom to keep our ratios low. The intervention specialists work together in a co-teaching model to support students' needs and differentiate for the unique learning profiles of each of our students. Here at JB, we also have in-house therapies, including a BCBA on staff, a full-time speech language pathologist, and an occupational therapist. And these providers collaborate with teachers and parents to give the services needed to each student. And many times these provided services go above and beyond what's listed on a child's IEP. For example, we have something here at JB called Lunch Bunch, and that is an opportunity for the speech language pathologist to push in social skills into lunchtime. We find that sometimes our kiddos get a little rigid in their conversations, and we hear the same conversations about trains or space during lunch. And our speech pathologist is there to help facilitate taking turns in conversations or talking about things that maybe the peer wants to talk about, and really carry over those skills that are taught in her social groups into a more unstructured environment. In the public school setting, your child's IEP goals are serviced by the minutes listed in section 7 of the IEP. These minutes typically range from like 20 to 60 minutes per week, or sometimes it's broken down monthly or quarterly, depending on the area being served. But at JB, since all of the students are receiving their full day of services from certified intervention specialists and licensed therapists, students are really receiving 7 full hours of intervention in a small group setting each day, which goes above and beyond what most IEPs have set in place. So what do families gain by coming to JB? JB provides services to meet the needs of each student academically, socially, behaviorally, and beyond. Our model is set up with unique opportunities for students to engage more deeply with differentiated curriculum in small group settings of usually 6 to 8 students for English language arts and math, and 12 to 16 students for science, social studies, and religion. Our therapists utilize both the push-in and pull-out model depending on what each student needs. And all staff are trained utilizing the social thinking curriculum, so we're all speaking the same language. We also encourage parents to utilize that language at home. That way there's some great carryover and students can know the expectations and they're hearing the terms like body and brain and group or expected choices or unexpected choices. We utilize the zones of regulation and those can be heard by any staff member at any time. So there's always someone there to support the child by using a language that they connect with. And we embed a variety of social opportunities into our school day for our students. So we have that lunch bunch time, but also during recess and during aftercare, students are able to practice those learned social skills in those unstructured settings. Each week, our students attend art therapy and music therapy as a part of their special schedule. And then we build time and opportunities into our school day to teach those executive functioning skills and foster student independence. So this looks different at each grade level, but for example, our kindergarten students, when they come in the morning, especially in these winter months, they're practicing taking off their layers, putting their snow boots away, unpacking their book bag. And then our older kiddos are getting their supplies and materials ready to start the day and looking ahead at their schedule to plan ahead of what materials they're going to need for future classes.
So while ultimately the public school of residence, so whichever city you live in, is responsible for legally writing the IEP, JB prides itself on being there for you to support you every step of the way. So we will open the lines of communication between the district, the parents, and our staff here at JB, and we will share our recommendations with the district. So our goal is to paint an accurate picture of your child to share with the districts. So again, while it's ultimately up to the district to write the IEP, we give as much information and data as we can since we work with the child each day. So part of that information is outlined here on this slide. So in the profile section, we describe our small group setting, the instruction and curricula that students access, as well as all those therapies and supports that Samantha just went through. In addition, we'll outline the student's strengths, some areas for improvement, and recent test scores as well. In the present level section, we include data on the student's current IEP goals, any anecdotal notes, a standard statement, so what typical students at that age or developmental range can perform, and then also baselines for our new recommended goals and objectives. So our goals and objectives are targeting skills that we have noticed that students need specifically designed instruction in. So this is areas that there are deficits, and we are going to target those even more clearly in our instruction. These can be academic, behavioral, social, in the areas of speech or OT as well. So JB will continue to monitor and take data on these throughout the duration of the whole IEP, which lasts a full year. In accommodations, we're going to outline all the accommodations that our students receive here at JB that they don't in typical public schools. So we will include both classroom and testing accommodations. These can be as big as or as small as we're using a bouncy band, having positive behavior supports, movement breaks, wait time, all of those accommodations that we embed into our curriculum and into our days that may not be a given in a public school setting. If we believe a student would benefit from text-to-speech or calculator use on standardized tests, we include any data that would warrant that accommodation as well. Services, so again, like Samantha talked about, while JB students are taught by intervention specialists for their entire day, we still provide suggestions for therapy minutes. So that's a good piece of information that we can kind of take the guesswork out for the district. ESY data. So extended school year can be a tricky conversation. When you access scholarship funds, you do waive your right to a free, appropriate public education, which means that the district doesn't necessarily have to provide extended school year for your child. However, you still have a right to a very thorough document that outlines everything that your student needs. So we will provide any data that shows a substantial regression over extended breaks, and we'll share that with the district. So again, while it's not required that the district provides those services, we still would like to have it included in the IEP to give you the document that you deserve. So obviously this is a lot of information and a lot of data, but at JB you will have typically the assistant principal or at least one member of the JB school who knows your student or who knows your child to attend those meetings with you and be your partner every step of the way. So data is an ongoing process. So we take a lot of data here at JB, and we pride ourselves on taking consistent data on our IEP goals and objectives, as well as many other important skills throughout the school day. So we're targeting other standards as well, not just what is on the IEP. We share our IEP data with families every 9 weeks, as well as during parent-teacher conferences or really upon request. So that data is really accessible to you at any time if you request it. Our goal for data is really to tell a picture. We want to have baseline data to see where our students started. We want to see where they are now, what are their current levels, and then where are we intending them to grow to? So what is the ultimate goal? And we analyze this data throughout the IEP process so we can target new skills, and we collaborate with one another so that we have a team approach, so that we're making sure that our data is truly telling the correct picture.
That's kind of a high level glimpse at how we incorporate IEPs into our day-to-day and how we support our families and the partnership that you gain by becoming a JB family. You will receive a copy of this slides presentation as an attendee to explore these resources and references. A lot of our blog posts are on here to help tie in this content with previously presented.
This particular episode was the last of our series on the understanding the special education process. So if you missed any of the other episodes that you want to see, they are all on demand at our website, juliebilliartschools.org/special education webinar series. There you can find all recordings of all 6 episodes, including this one, and they will also be included on the JB YouTube channel. Our social media pages will include any series that are upcoming, and we also welcome ideas for future topics. So if you have any ideas of webinar topics that you would like in the future, feel free to drop those in the chat.
So we went through the information pretty high level and at a quick pace, but what questions do you have as attendees that we can hone in on or give you more information either about the IEP process or how we serve IEPs here at Julie Billiart Schools? Feel free to type in questions at this time. We'll wait another minute or two to see if any questions come through. Great, so we do have some questions here. The first question is, do you include sensory breaks throughout the day? We absolutely do. Where a lot of public schools in different settings have a sensory room, our sensory materials and tools are really embedded into every classroom. So every classroom has access to flexible seating options, fidgets, as well as calm down spaces. And then there are sensory pathways and different strategies embedded in the whole school. So in our hallways, you'll see little hopscotch paths or visuals for students to do wall pushes. And then students that need more than what is available to everyone might be assigned a specific sensory diet from the OT, or the teacher might work on some different sensory strategies like heavy work or weighted vest throughout the school day.
Another question was how to ensure that the IEP is comprehensive and not missing any important services for your child. So at JB, that is a conversation to have with the assistant principal, your child's intervention specialist, so that we can really ensure that we are being an advocate for you and speaking on all aspects of your child. We always encourage parent input. So typically at the beginning of the IEP process, when I open the lines of communication, it includes a parent input survey to get your feedback and see what you think your child's strengths and weaknesses are as well. In addition to that, the ETR process, which occurs every 3 years, does the really thorough, comprehensive evaluations and assessments. So that is where you will, the school psychologist will target every level. So we'll do IQ testing, we'll do behavior rating scales, speech and OT do really intense evaluations as well. So that only happens every 3 years, but all the information and data that is found in the ETR really guides the IEP so that we're making sure we're targeting all those skills and providing the services that are necessary. Great question.
Another question here is, when does the school year start and how do you get notified if your child is accepted to Julie Billiart? So we run a typical 9-month school year starting in August, typically late August, running to the end of May or beginning of June. And we have a screening process that begins with an application, your child attending a screening day where they participate in some academic as well as social activities, and they are notified within usually a week of that screening day if we have the services here to meet the needs of your child. JB does specialize in more of the mild to moderate range of disabilities, including mild to moderate autism, ADD and ADHD, and specific learning disabilities.
Another question is, do we have peer models or exposure to neurotypical kids at Julie Billiart? We do not. Our school serves all students with disabilities. But like Samantha just said, there is a range of disabilities. So every student at JB is working on something different. Some students have really strong social skills and are here for academic reasons, while others may have some academic deficits, or vice versa, or while others may be really strong academically, but need some social interventions and behavior support. So it really depends, but we do not serve students who are neurotypical. All of our students are, most all of our students have IEPs and qualify for special education services.
Another question here is about our family community. If we have family nights or activities where families can get together. We have a parent action committee that is super involved, similar to a PTO or PTA at another school, at other schools. And they do host social gatherings. We usually do a picnic in the summer where families can come together. And we have a great partnership with Crocker Park. This year upcoming, we might be working with Crocker Park to host some JB family events at their setting. We'll wait another minute to see if any additional questions come in. If you have any additional questions or specific questions about admissions, you can feel free to reach out to our admissions director at admissions@jbschool.org. and they can get you started on the admissions procedure. There's also links to all of our future open houses on our website. We would love to see you in the building soon. No more questions came in, so thank you for joining us today. I hope that you can check out all of our additional webinars online, and feel free to keep in touch with us. There's the admissions email there, our website, as well as a phone. We're happy to be a resource however we can for you and your family, wherever you're at in your educational journey. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.